What's up everybody, it's Nick, also known as the Vita Lover, and today I'm going to be making a video, my recap on Gamescom this year, 2014. But first, let me lay down some groundwork here, and I'm pretty much going to say that as a Vita owner, and only a Vita owner, this was an awful fucking conference. Now, as I said, I'm not a PS4 owner, but as someone who sort of has a general understanding of how the PlayStation gaming market works, I don't think there was much anybody could take out of this press conference. Even if I did own a PlayStation 4, I would have looked at that press conference, and as someone who likes hardcore games, not indie games, I would have said this conference was complete crap too. For the PlayStation 4, I think they announced what? They showed Tearaway, so they're pretty much removing a PS Vita exclusive game. They showed Drive, they didn't even show, yeah, they did show Drive Club, and they're announcing a release date of what? Sometime in October. They showed a couple other games, a bunch of indie stuff, which none of it, one or two indie games were alright, but most of it, by and large, was really not that good. As a hardcore gamer, there was nothing in that conference for me. Now, as a Vita owner, and not a Vita YouTuber who is passionate and loves the Vita, that was pretty much euthanizing the Vita right then and there. It is completely dead now. They did not even announce hardware, PS Vita 2000 model hardware, when it is coming to the United States, because everybody knows there are shortages in the United States of the Vita right now. And very few companies are now actually replenishing stock of the Vita, which sort of hints at the fact that they are going to discontinue it, which is really pretty much where they stopped just short of today at Gamescom. Now, I think they showed one or two indie games for the Vita. None of them were exclusive. None of them really that remarkable. And it pretty much, especially with the Tearaway losing exclusivity on the Vita, I mean, that was just kicking salt in your eyes. Then you add on top of that, they spent probably 2 minutes on PlayStation TV just to give us a price which we already knew, and a release date, which I think was November 18th. Other than that, the Vita was not talked about at all. I think probably the funniest part at the end of it too was he was talking about how PlayStation was an ecosystem, which is funny because one little member was not even mentioned at all, and it's called the PlayStation Vita. I don't know if Sony knows it, but it's actually a product they sell. And seeing as it was completely absent, there was no hardware 2000 model announcement. They weren't even going to give us a date, maybe a reduced price. The only thing that was mentioned was PlayStation TV. I'm going to go and say Sony pretty much in Gamescom went just as far as to say, we're discontinuing the PlayStation Vita, but we're not going to tell you. Right? What was the point of Gamescom and E3? The point of Gamescom and E3 is to show what is coming in the next year and a half to 2 years. You maybe can reduce that time frame a little bit, 1 year to 1.5 years, somewhere around there. But you get the point. The point of game press conferences is to show what is coming in the future. So, for pretty much the next year, I'm going to say year to 2 years, we have little coming to the Vita. Little, if anything, coming to the Vita. If there were any big games in development, Sony would have announced them by now. Freedom Wars has been announced, I think, for 1.5 to 2 years. It's been announced for a while. People have known it's been there for a while. It was announced at TGS, I think, in 2012. Now, going into the future, there's nothing for the Vita coming. Nothing at all. And I gotta be honest, I'm pissed. All I wanted from this fucking conference was one big game. One Western big game. Could be third party, first party. Sony's pretty much said they're not going to make any more first party games for the Vita. They are going to go third party. Well, no third party games were shown. And my favorite part is even after E3, when pretty much everybody pretty much said, hey, Sony, fuck you, sincerely, Vita owners. And then they even reacted to it. Sony employees were defending themselves. They pretty much were like, okay, yeah, we didn't really do much for the Vita. And then, for me, that was everything going into Gamescom. And then they did not even do anything with that. It's like they didn't even bat a freaking eyelash. Pretty much just said, yeah, we don't give a fuck about you anymore. Pretty much keep the system profitable for us, and then, you know, go buy a PlayStation 4. I mean, it was just utter, unbelievable for me that Sony would not even announce one big game for the Vita. They wouldn't even show anything coming in the future for the Vita. They wouldn't even announce a release date for Freedom Wars in the West, which is the only big game coming to the Vita at this point. They wouldn't even announce PS Vita 2000 hardware release date information details. That to me is pretty much saying we are discontinuing the Vita. Go buy a PlayStation 4. So pretty much at this point, as a Vita owner, I am infuriated with Sony. I'm pretty much now going to speak with my wallet. I am not going to renew my PlayStation Plus subscription. I am not going to buy any more games for the PlayStation Vita. I'm not going to do anything, put any money in Sony's pocket. I'm pretty much saying, fuck you, Sony. Go fuck yourself. Because as a Vita owner, that's what you told me at Gamescom and E3 this year. You pretty much said there's nothing coming to you in the next year, year and a half. You're getting a bunch of crappy indie games on a $250 system with proprietary memory, which costs a crap ton. So, go fuck yourself, consumer. And you know what, Sony? I have had enough of you. I don't think as Vita owners we've really asked that much. We've even started our own petitions for third parties. We're doing your work fucking for you. And you still won't even throw us a bone. It's unbelievable. We're doing your work for you. We're going to developers, asking them to make games. You created a third-party studio, which was probably 10 years too late. And even then, you still couldn't get anything on the Vita. It's unbelievable. 10 million people who are all avid JRPG fans. It's your best-selling games. I mean, Uncharted, Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, Persona 4. These are your best-selling games. Games in Japan are selling extremely well. And seeing as Japanese games are coming to the States, your avenue would seem to be through big JRPGs. Right? We were supposed to get Final Fantasy Type 0 HD Remake on the Vita. It didn't happen. Persona 4 Golden is still the best-selling game week in, week out on the Vita, on Amazon. The biggest seller of video games. Same thing with Final Fantasy X-2 HD Remake. Best-selling week in, week out. It's just unfathomable to me that Sony could not even take basic steps to help improve the Vita. I mean, yeah, PlayStation 4 is going to be a smashing success, obviously. But at the same time, why can't you even take part of that and put it towards the Vita when you could probably single-handedly use resources from the PlayStation 4 to revitalize the Vita? Now, Sony is in financial trouble. That's another discussion, but it seems to me like you can't even pass a little bit down the Vita's way. You're just going to pretty much tell consumers, go fuck yourself. You bought a system for no reason. We support it for about a year and a half and then pretty much dropped it off the face of the earth. And my favorite part was in an interview, a Sony CEO said this was not a conscious decision. That is pure bullshit. It was a completely conscious decision. You're saying of all your first-party studios that are developing games, almost all of them in the West, actually all of them in the West, went to the PlayStation 4. That isn't a conscious decision. What a load of bullshit. But yeah, pretty much what I'm saying here is I am not putting any more money in Sony's wallet. I'm not going to buy a PlayStation 4. I'm not going to renew my PlayStation Plus subscription. I'm not going to buy new games. The only games I'm going to get in the future are games from PlayStation Plus, which actually cost Sony money. Anyway, guys, you can pretty much tell I am absolutely infuriated about this conference. It was pretty much shitty all around. Thanks for watching. Comment. I would really like you guys to comment just to hear your opinions, and then maybe I can make up a follow-up video. And please subscribe.